Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Murder, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of Poirot, Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder, or Jonathan Creek. Today, we're looking at Diagnosis Murder, Till Death Do Us Part. Or as I like to call it, that time someone else's girlfriend was crazy for a change. We begin the episode with the bride swooshing around before being jump scared by the groom, and they witness her dad being a jerk before they spill their plan.
By this time tomorrow, we'll be married.
Your father will be dead.
And my stepmother will be in jail for murder.
And into the credits we go. Wade is cranky the day of the wedding because of how much it's costing him, especially these pricey flowers, which causes an awkward argument. Cindy pulls an inhaler out of her boobs, which Philip puts in a drawer, and outside, Mark shows up.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Where he trips over Morgan the dog. Philip plants a book on the shelf and drops a flower petal on the rug before Wade comes in and they argue through gritted teeth before getting a drink together. Hey, don't chew the dog! While Wade checks for the pasta, Philip poisons his drink, which he slugs down, and upstairs, Cindy chips a nail and sends Denise to go get her polish from the same drawer Philip put the inhaler in. While she's gone, Cindy dumps some stuff in her purse, and Denise of course touches the inhaler. But time for the wedding, and Wade starts coughing and complaining he can't breathe, so Mark suggests he get his inhaler. Jessie chats to Cindy while Amanda is all swoony over Philip. Man, Jessie, that tie is ugly, especially with that shirt. And a little while later, Cindy and Wade have their father-daughter dance, but he collapses. Mark gives him his inhaler, but he dies, and Steve is brought in due to the mix of drugs in Wade's system, before Mark finds the book and the flower petal. Cindy brings up Wade's changed will that cut Denise out, so she's questioned about the drugs she takes and the book she apparently checked out of the library, and she's interrogated where she points out Cindy's cigarettes were picked up at the same time as the planted drugs. But Mark thinks she's trying to frame Cindy, and she's arrested.
That, my dear, is the perfect murder.
Sounds good.
Good? No, my dear. It's better than good. It's foolproof.
On the actual day of the wedding, Denise brings the flowers to breakfast, but the order is wrong and Cindy is pissed, so Wade tells her to calm down before she pulls the inhaler out of her pocket and plants it in the drawer. Philip cuts himself trying to get the petal, and when he tries to plant the book, he knocks half the shelf flying. Wade comes in and is really nice to Philip before agreeing to a drink, but he doesn't get up to check for the pasta, and after Philip poisons his drink, Wade accidentally knocks it over, which the dog licks. Cindy chips her nail, but Denise points out her nail polish is right in front of her, but she does go out the room to get her tea, so Cindy can plant the drugs in her purse. The dog goes bananas at the wedding and Philip isn't paying attention, but they're married now, and Cindy checks on her dad, who's feeling great. Philip calls Cindy over to tell her about the spilled drink, and she says they need to get the drugs back from Denise in order to try again, but she's got a different purse, so Philip has to find the original, which he bleeds on, before running into Jessie, who notices his cut finger. Philip doses a new drink, which he makes Wade down, so by the time he's dancing with Cindy, he's coughing, but Amanda isn't interested in Philip's flirting. Wade has an asthma attack, but Denise doesn't know where his inhaler is, so Cindy rushes off to get it and passes it to Denise, and he's down again, and this time, dead for real. Amanda tells Steve the combo of drugs, red wine, and dairy killed him, and back at the house, Philip and Cindy replant the drugs in Denise's new purse, and Cindy freaks out over Mark investigating, but Philip is calm talking to Steve, until he finds Nina hoovering up the rug, so Steve asks her to stop. Denise gives Steve permission to search the house, while Cindy bitches about Denise to Mark, and they mention that she used to take medication, as Morgan continues to bounce around. Mark wants to get a blood sample from Morgan, and Philip tells Cindy he forgot to plant the prescription receipt, but no matter because Steve found the library card and the book, the petal in the vacuum, and knows about Wade's will. However, he says the conclusion doesn't feel right. Mark agrees that there's too much obvious evidence, but Steve has no choice and arrests Denise, so Philip and Cindy celebrate with a makeout sesh. Denise tells Mark she truly loved Wade and says Cindy gave her the inhaler before begging for help, and the blood results come back from Morgan, which gives Mark an idea. Steve tells the newlyweds that Denise has hired the best lawyer, so he needs them to run through the day's events again. And when Philip mentions the photographer, Steve wants to get hold of his camera in case he photographs something incriminating. Trap set by Ghost Doc. The pair, of course, break into the photo studio and try to steal the photos, but surprise, bitches! They knew it was them because of Morgan, and the pair are arrested.
You know, if there's any justice in the world,
Those two would have to share a cell for the rest of their lives.
right?
Okay, this is a pretty memorable episode because it's quite unique. We've had whodunit episodes, we've had how catch 'em episodes, but this one not only reveals who the killers are, it maps out their entire plan before it even takes place. Having a third of the episode making you think the crime is taking place only to pull the rug out and discover the day has only just begun is clever. And knowing the plan in advance made watching every step going wrong all the more satisfying. And Cindy and Philip remind me of clumsier versions of Simon Doyle and Jacqueline de Belfort. I love the personality changes between the two versions and how Wade seemed like a decent, understanding guy in reality, so I was sad when despite all the mistakes, he still ended up dead. The actors that played the two killers did a great job putting up a happy front while being deliciously unlikable as the cracks began to show. A very different episode, a lot of fun, and it's always a plus in my book if the crime is solved by a dog. We have one victim, Wade Garrett, who despite a comedy of errors still wound up dead because of a fatal drug combination. Killed for his money by our killers, Philip Evans Kobler and Cindy Garrett, who tried to pin it on Denise Garrett but epically failed. So there you have it. That was Till Death Do Us Part. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want to continue investigating with me. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and keep an eye out for clues!